I'm waiting. I'm giving it a sec. Okay. I think we're on. Folks, welcome back to episode 2 of Cinema Conversations, the weekly show where we bring you the latest films we've talked about, the latest television we've talked about, the latest trailers, and the latest news we've talked about. I am your host, Ethan Dubofsky, and to the right of me is your co-host, Ryan Dubofsky. Ryan, how you been?
All right.
In the past week, any big news, any updates? Nothing to say, huh? Nothing to say. Well, folks, then I suppose we ought to get right into it. The Braves, unfortunately, lost. That is the worst news of the week. But the Falcons won today. So I can take some pride in that. Let's get started with Tar. Tar, a new film by Todd Field, who is a director who I don't know much about, but What do you got there, Ryan?
Just a drink.
Oh, what, does it say something? Does it say something on the cup? I've never been so insulted. Somebody.
I don't see anything.
This is unplanned, folks. The disrespect I'm getting right now is frankly unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's in it at least? Something good?
Water.
Oh, you cut out. You're not moving. Where'd you go?
Water.
You're frozen, Ryan. Are we having Wi-Fi issues already?
Maybe. Mine's fine.
It's fine on your end? No, you're frozen on the broadcast, buddy. Something happened with your webcam?
Nope.
What? Well, then I suppose we just gotta wait for you to get back. Yeah, you're frozen. This is a hell of a start to the show. Are you still drinking from my cup while you're frozen?
Yeah.
Bro, what is going on? Nothing is happening on your end?
No.
Trying yeah, I can hear you fine. But the video is the problem. The video is the problem.
On what?
Are you looking at? You pull up the podcast, Ryan. Really? Try to turn off your webcam and back on or something. Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Okay.
Welcome. Okay. Shall we continue with? As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by your little stunt. Tar, director Todd Field, who hasn't worked in Hollywood for quite some time, made some films about a decade or so ago, and is back with this Cate Blanchett-led film. This one's controversial. This one's a little controversial, I think. Critics love it, from what I've seen. I'm not sure how audiences feel yet because it's not really at a wide release stage. I had to drive pretty far, and I think Ryan did as well, to see this one. Ryan, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot to say about this one. How about you kick us off?
Kick us off? Okay. Well, watching this film, going in, I thought, because of the reviews, I thought it'd probably be pretty good, right? But it's also 2 hours and 38 minutes, so I thought it might be pretty slow because it doesn't seem like one of those movies that's fast-paced and whatnot, and it's more drama and talking-based film.
Sure.
So I thought, maybe I'll be tired during this film, and I went with a friend, and he slept basically the whole movie.
What friend?
Kaliko.
Okay, so you took Kaliko to the least accessible film of the year. That's nice.
He wanted to go.
Okay.
So.
No disrespect to Kaliko, but
he slept the whole time, but I really enjoyed it, actually.
Okay. Wow.
I thought it would be slow because of the time, but it went by way quicker than I thought. That's my opinion. Like, it's longer than Dune, but it felt much, much shorter.
It's about the same length. I'll tell you what. So first of all, I disagree. I don't think it is. It feels. I don't think it goes by quickly. I will say that it this is going to be odd, but it felt very long. It felt very slow, but still it didn't feel like it wasn't as slow as Dune. I would agree. And I think there is some brisk pacing to a lot of the scenes that we have in there. But I will also say I wonder if that's because I didn't know what the length would be going in. So as it just continued, I was like, God, this film must be I would have guessed 2 hours 45 minutes. I did guess 2 hours 45 minutes when we left the theater, and I was about right. It's about 2 hours 39, I think.
38.
But the film is very long, right? I mean, you can agree with that.
It's a long film because it's 2 hours and 38 minutes, but it didn't feel that long. It felt quite quick to me.
Yeah, I just disagree with you there.
The only time I felt tired during the beginning, like first 30 minutes, and then the rest of the movie I was pretty excited.
Excited. That's interesting.
Excited.
I will say that, and obviously this is purposeful, I understand why, but for a lot of the film, nothing really happens. There's nothing really progressing a plot forward, and so I definitely think that also contributed to the fact that it felt like a slog, like it was an actual tough time to get through this film. I don't know.
I think everything pushed the plot forward. What do you mean?
There's basically no plot to the film. It's like a licorice pizza, okay? Which doesn't really have a plot, right? I don't know if you would agree with that. But licorice pizza doesn't really feel like it's going towards anything. It just feels like a journey that these characters go on, and we're lucky enough to experience it with them. And the same feels true for Tar. It's not like there's a climax in the film. There is an ending, obviously, but it's not something that the film is actively pushing towards in a film like Dune. Like in a film like Dune, a narrative-based story, you're constantly moving. Every beat of the story is to reach the end. Okay, that's how linear stories work. Tar does not feel the same. There are multiple scenes that they obviously have a point. They contribute to the theme of the film, but they are not active. It's not actively pushing you towards the end of the film, and that's fine. Some people love those films. Evidently, you very much enjoyed the film, but that's not my cup of tea. That's not my favorite thing about films. I don't really love when movies do that.
Interesting.
I'd say the same about Black Swan. That's another film we disagree on. It's one I haven't seen in a while, and I'd be keen to watch again. But it's also a film that is sort of, you're just on, I think her name is Nina, Natalie Portman's character. You're just on this journey with her as it reaches the end. And there is a climax in that film. And there is in this one too, but it's definitely very mild. And I mean, those aren't my favorite kinds of films, I would say.
Maybe I disagree, I guess.
Yeah,
I like Tar. You have to agree that the direction is incredible, though.
I would agree that the filmmaking craft is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the one take. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There was just really long one take in the film. Only one that I could think. That I perceived. And it's the one where she's giving that speech to the kid at Juilliard near the beginning of the film. Yeah? You remember it? How could you forget?
Oh, that was all one take?
That was all one take. Massive. So impressive. I love that shot.
I didn't like think back on it being one take, but I noticed it, like as I was seeing it, I noticed like the camera switches and like the flawlessness of the like straight shots, perfect shots, the acting.
I don't think there were any camera switches. I think it was literally a one take shot.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
I think it was.
But I don't think there were any transitions of any kind. But I might be wrong.
That whole scene was great, I think.
That's my favorite scene of the film. That's a phenomenal scene. And it really captures a key theme to the film, which I really like as well. And
Comes
yeah. But look, the film, I said this in my review, it really comes down to personal preference. I think, and you didn't see my review, which neither here nor there, But I really think this film comes down to what you want when you go see a film. Is a film meant to be enjoyed, appreciated? I mean, I don't mean to say meant to, because films are obviously have different meanings of all kinds. But do you like to enjoy films first and foremost, or do you like to be challenged by films? Because I think you'd agree this one is not an easy watch. There are so many things. I'll speak for myself here, and you can agree or disagree, that flew completely over my head. References, lines of dialogue, all sorts of directorial choices that didn't make sense to me, and still some don't, and some I've thought about since and realized, their purpose. But this film is just so layered and so stacked with so many things, and that is, again, a testament to Todd Field's direction, just how much this film has going for it. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot. So if you like to go to a film to be challenged, that's what Tar is, in my opinion.
I definitely agree about the it being very layered and challenging, and it was a little interesting in the director's choices sometimes, because of like the majority is definitely not going to understand a lot of the things in the film, and I didn't. I know that for sure there were a lot of the references, especially there's one point when they made a reference, I was like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
I don't think anyone's going to know what that means.
Right.
But
and there's a lot of musical stuff that just I don't understand.
But for the people who do, that's probably great, because I love it when I understand certain references and things. It feels like a special, thing for people like me. Like movies, like things in La La Land for movies. Sure. It feels, yeah. And also, I saw the title of your video is Tar is a Puzzle.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah. And I would definitely agree, because I still do not understand a lot of this movie.
Right.
I didn't want to look up and look at someone's article and who talks about it. I don't know why I didn't do that. Maybe I will. But there's just so much, and I don't think you need to understand it to still enjoy it.
Agreed.
Because I still enjoyed it. Very interesting watch. Very unique film.
I would say I don't think you need to enjoy it to understand it, which is what you said. But I do think you need to try to understand it. Because if you're just sitting in that theater with not even attempting to engage with the material in front of you, you're going to hate the film. I went with some people, and I went with 3 people to see this film. And 2 of them, you could tell were actively trying to engage with the film. They didn't enjoy it, but we were talking in the car afterwards about various theories and just thoughts on different things, and that was a fun experience. I always like breaking down a film, which is why I started the show, funnily enough. But and they didn't enjoy it. But you could tell they clearly tried. Whereas one of the people, and this really irked me, said I was overthinking it, reading too much into it. And that irked me because the people who made this film did not put all that time and effort just to be told that every prop in every scene, every line of dialogue didn't have intention behind it, because it clearly does. Everything in this film feels purposed. Okay, you can't say that about a lot of films. The MCU, I know it's easy to pick on, I'm sorry, and I do love the franchise, but it's not everything has purpose. A lot of these lines of dialogue just do not feel absolutely necessary, whereas in Tar, it does. Everything that happens has a purpose, and whether you like the purpose or not, I personally didn't love it, but it's clearly that they fulfilled their goal. Todd Field clearly succeeded in his vision, and I can respect that for sure. I definitely respect the film more than I enjoyed it, I will say.
I agree. You kind of have to respect the film for how great it is and being like a film and what it wanted to accomplish and achieve. And Todd Field did great at that. Have you ever seen another Todd Field film?
I've not. No.
Neither have I.
I didn't know about him before the film. Before Tar.
Also, yeah, neither did I. The one interesting thing. Wait, never mind. I'm gonna start with what you were talking about, but I just forgot. But now I'm gonna talk about it again. Everything having a purpose in the film. Yes, I agree. Every piece of dialogue, every scene is important to the story that it's trying to tell and the meaning and the themes in the story, and I think that was great. Uh, to like accomplish something bigger and show the audience what it wanted to show them,
Sure.
and the execution was even better. Yeah, but one thing interesting. Never mind. You
What? You don't want to talk about it? No, I don't know that I have anything left to say. So if you want to get any final thoughts in, you might want to do it now.
The ending.
Okay. Yeah,
Very
without spoilers.
introducing ending.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil.
The ending, interesting. We might have to talk
Yeah.
about that after the show because I thought it was good. I don't know about interesting. Are you like rustling with something? Something's coming up on your audio. Okay.
You disagreed that the ending was interesting?
I mean, I wouldn't highlight it as like something important. It's something that like really stuck out to me in the film. So I would say no, I guess.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Yeah, so Tar, a film I respected more than I enjoyed for sure. I understand why people love it if this is the kind of film you enjoy, but I personally can't say that this is the kind of film that I am, particularly attached to. I think I gave it a B and a 6 out of 10. And you?
I think I gave it a 9 or an 8.
Wow.
I think it was
high
a
praise. 9. High praise. Wow, we didn't even talk about Cate Blanchett's performance, but I guess there's not much because...
I talked about it a bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's great. She's great. There's no kidding about it. You would agree? Are you British? Yeah, she's great. And I guess Oscar chances wise, she will most certainly get nominated. We'll see how well Tar does in general, but I think she's absolutely a lock for a nomination. We'll see about the win. I think there's some competition there. Any last thoughts, Ryan, on Tar?
Go watch it. Don't fall asleep.
Look, I'd recommend it if anything we said in either this conversation or my review speaks to you in terms of the kinds of films you like to see. Next up, the only other film of this week is Till. Till, Ryan, you did not see this one. I understand it.
Yep.
And that's because it wasn't playing near you?
Yep, the only time... No. Yeah, it's not playing for another week.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
It's odd. They're marketing it very oddly because it definitely is marketed for an October 14th release. And I got lucky enough to see it at a theater pretty far away, even further than the theater for Tar. But I saw it. I did see it. I guess when you see it, we'll have to talk about it more on the show. But review is coming, and perhaps controversially, I did not love the film. I did not love the film. I have more bad to say than good, I'm afraid. But we can save most of that for another time. Ryan, we have a lot of TV to cover. Let's start with the She-Hulk. We have two finales that dropped this week. I'm going to be out of TV for a while because Rick and Morty got delayed to November 20th, which we were supposed to talk about. Not delayed. They're having a hiatus, a season break, which we were supposed to talk about last week, but Wi-Fi didn't want us to. And so there's only one show I'll have to watch for the next couple of weeks. Anyway, She-Hulk, the finale. What'd you make of it?
I'm going to try not to spoil as best as I can because there's a lot in this episode. I didn't hate it, and I also didn't love it.
Huh.
I thought it was an alright finale, very interesting, different, obviously.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's very unique. I've never seen anything like it.
Sure.
I doubt anyone else has. And I thought it was creative, but also maybe not the right choice.
Interesting. Look, I would agree with you that it's pretty unique, and I think the reason was obviously because this is She-Hulk show, which is a very different kind of show. And I think the finale was very fitting for the show. And I saw a lot of people say, just calling out stuff doesn't mean you avoid the same problems, right? Because they called the finale messy in the show. And then, a lot of people have the criticism that it was messy. And look, I thought the finale, again, I won't spoil, but if you've seen, you of course know what we're talking about. I thought it was very fitting for the show. I thought it was funny. I thought it was an engaging. I think you're frozen again, by the way. Oh, you're back. I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained. I saw somebody say this one had a wide spectrum of people. I saw people say, if you don't like it, you're sexist. I saw a ton of people condemn the show completely after this. I saw some guy say it was the best episode of TV the entire year, which was... You're frozen.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're just completely still. You're like Drax. I saw some guy say, well, how did you not react to that comment? That was the most insane thing I'd ever read.
No, yeah, I saw your Twitter reply to that guy
Right,
saying that.
Come on.
Yeah, that's very ridiculous.
It's not even the best episode of She-Hulk. It's not even... It might be top 3 She-Hulk episodes. And he's calling it the greatest episode of television this year. This year has been insane. That drove me nuts. I'm sorry. This has been a phenomenal year for television. I could name 20 episodes better than the She-Hulk finale. Don't mess with me.
Every episode in The Boys.
Yes, 3. Just about. But yeah, probably every season 3 episode beats the She-Hulk finale. We're talking Barry. We're talking Winning Time, for God's sake. We're talking Better Call Saul, the finale, which had 2 of the greatest episodes of television history. Maybe even 3. Maybe even 4 episodes. Come on. What are we doing here? Ridiculous. The guy's trolling. I mean, clearly he wants a response, but I was glad to give him one because that's the most nonsensical thing I've heard ever. It's one of the worst takes I saw this week. I really got to get off Twitter. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the finale. You said, not your favorite. Let's just reflect, unless you have anything specific to say about the finale, let's just reflect on the show in general. What were your thoughts?
I think it's 100% overhated show, and I
overhated.
do think overhated. Yeah, I do think a lot of that comes from either people who are blatantly sexist, because there are people who are like that and say things about the show, and you can tell, or people who are subconsciously sexist or without knowing about it, but that's probably less. I think most of it is the sexist people hate it. Like, you look at the reviews on like Letterboxd and it's bombed. You see a lot of the lower ratings and whatnot, and I think that's sad because the show overall was not that bad. It was good, a good show.
Here's what I'll say. I will say that there are obviously a lot of people who are sexist who did not enjoy the show. A lot of people who never gave it a chance and review bombed it. But I do want to push back a little on what you said, because I do think there are absolutely many valid criticisms here. And I think the show failed on a lot of fronts and things that it was trying to go for. And so I think if I enjoyed the show personally, because I could overlook a lot of those things for the purpose of, like, I tuned in every week and I realized I was missing She-Hulk. Like, I wanted to see the latest episode because it was fun. Or right around episode 4, I realized I actually was looking forward to the episodes. And so at the end of the day, my enjoyment trumped any criticisms that I could have of the show, right? Because I did have criticisms. It wasn't my favorite show of the year. It's not top 10 even, for God's sakes. But I could understand why it's not that for some people, why it wasn't something that could be enjoyable. So I will say, if you didn't like it and you're not sexist, I know you exist. I understand that. I can see that. But if you are sexist, don't be sexist. That's not a good thing to be, because you're missing out on some fun content.
I should have mentioned that. I do not think that everyone who dislikes the show is sexist.
Right.
Because, of course, if you dislike the show, you can dislike the show.
Right.
But it's just, I see on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, there are a lot of people and Instagram who are hating on the show, and you can tell they're blatantly sexist.
Agreed, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a large group of people, and I think one of the shows
did a great job at calling that out.
Yeah, one of his greatest strengths. I agree.
They predicted.
We got Kofi in the chat, says L take. If you want to elaborate on what specifically is an L take, we can address it. I assume he means our She-Hulk discussion in general. Which is fine. We just said, people can have differing opinions. And that's okay if you didn't like the show, Kofi. But yeah, tell us what specifically you disagreed with. Yeah, it was a fun show. I enjoyed tuning in. I don't have much more to say than that. I look forward to a season 2 because I think hopefully they can improve on a lot of the things I liked. I mentioned in my review, which I'm guessing you didn't watch. Oh, RDPC Reviews tells us that this is an L stream. Thanks for
That's
clarifying
disrespectful.
That is really disrespectful. I think I'm
Tell
gonna
him to
kick
get
him.
out of here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna kick him.
The hell?
The show was, yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. I hope for some more law because I just personally like that. I hope for some more refined comedy. Just, a better experience all around. I think we can do better here. But I liked it. I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about She-Hulk?
No.
Okay. Let's talk about the other finale that debuted this week. The Rings of Power. The Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings. The most expensive show ever made. Ryan, I take it since last week you still have not watched this one.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any interest in watching this one? Maybe don't drink.
I will watch it.
Addressing a question to you. That'd be lovely.
Bad. I will watch it. I want to rewatch the movies first.
Ryan, are you serious?
What? Yeah, I'm serious.
That's like you're looking at like 20-hour total experience right now. Each film is like 3 hours, plus the show is like 8 hours. So you're looking at 17 hours.
Didn't someone take a... I bet someone's made a video of all the important parts put together. I can just watch that.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Angela Dubofsky in the chat. Both my fave DPCs. We're getting a hell of a chat here today, folks. Keep typing in the chat. We love to see it. And thank you, Angela Dubofsky. My favorite mother, quite frankly. And Michelle Obama might be number 1, but you're a close second. Rings of Power. Look, I enjoyed the finale. Look, I thought it closed out a lot of great stuff. There's a twist in there. A lot of people the whole show, Ryan, I don't know if you know, have been guessing who Sauron is. Because the whole twist of the show is like Sauron is introduced. We finally get to see Sauron before he was the Eye and whatnot. And so people were guessing the entire time who it was, and then they finally reveal in the last episode, and it's kind of a W. Yeah. So look, that was awesome. You have some other homages here. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But some cool stuff that I picked up, and I'm not even a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I mentioned that in my review. But the show overall, very slow pacing. Prepare for that, Ryan. It's exactly like the films. It really is. Because the pacing is slow, but the world building is incredible. And it really just depends on which you respect and admire more. And me personally, it should have been faster. It should have been faster. It should have been a lot faster. Just like the films. Boy Momster 88 is my favorite DPC. The disrespect. Okay, shall we...
I saw the name of your video talking about it, and it was saying that it's very reminiscent of the movies. So I knew that you were going to have that take that it was slow, because I know you dislike the movies for that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. And the show is the exact same. So when you see it, mention it, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Okay.
But it might be a while, I guess, because it's going to take 17 hours. Huh?
What do you think about the visuals?
Oh, the visual effects are stunning. And the cinematography. But I mentioned this in my review. That's what happens when you spend $500 million to get a show of this production value. I mean, it's not cheap, and you can tell every second on screen. I really wish I could have seen all of it in the theater, to be honest with you, because just the visuals are stunning. But that doesn't make a show.
Didn't they play
in the chat? Hello.
Didn't they play it in theaters?
They played the first 2 episodes, yeah, back in September.
Interesting. When does the next season come
out? A while. I think 2 years. They said, and I actually had that in the news. We'll talk about that a little bit. But wait, do I? Yikes! No, we were supposed to talk about that last week. I'm mixing up my man. This is annoying. But they started filming. They started filming in the UK. So at least they started, but it'll be a while. Kofi. Show should be slow. IMO. Even if it makes it worse. No, I'm not going to say that. Relax. I'm sorry, Kofi.
Got to
Um,
appeal to the diehards.
it's because I know them. It's because I know the man. Uh, yeah. No, I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. It shouldn't be slow. Slow stuff. Things in general. Slow pacing is not bad, but it definitely makes a product worse, in my opinion, in most cases. Let's talk about the other show this week, which, Ryan, I have it on good authority, you just finished watching before the stream. Is that right?
Yep.
Andor,
I did.
episode 6. You told me last week you were going to wait all the way until the end, and then I told you have to watch it because we need to talk about it, or we're going to have nothing to talk about this week. So the chat is, I'm being canceled, I think. I think I might have to end the channel. But anyway, Andor episode 6. Ryan, without spoilers, was this not a phenomenal episode of television?
It was a good episode.
Okay.
I don't know if I like it as much as you do, because I saw you even tweeted about it. You're like, it's peak. This
Yeah,
episode
Andor
is
episode
peak.
6 is absolutely peak content.
It was. You want to start? You should start.
I will start. Well, look, Andor is, I believe, taking a 3-episode approach to every arc it explores. So the first 3 episodes, he gets inducted into this kind of way of life. And episodes 4 through 6 is all about him planning this rebellious activity and actually going through with it in episode 6. And the show has been a little slow. I've enjoyed it for sure because I really like looking at this side of Star Wars, but it has been slow. It's that's just another fact of the show. And then episode 6, it all comes to a head. They actually go through with the plan that they've been talking about and planning for in episodes 4 and 5, and in episode 6, it is tense. It's like the Rogue One Scarif scene. It really is. It's like them actually going through with this remarkably meticulous plan. The writing in this show is so specific. It leaves nothing to be desired. Like everything is planned out. It feels like a very authentic heist. And so it's bath time with Vaughn is in the chat. You lads talking about Lord of the Rings or Man missed it. Unfortunately, bath time with Vaughn, you did miss it. You can go back a little bit. It was literally the last thing we talked about. Or you can watch it when this saves as a VOD. Anyway, what was I saying? Andor episode 6. I mean, it's a culmination of everything the show's been planning recently. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I love the episode. It's everything I wanted from this show. It's the revolution on a ground level because we've gotten the Jedi. We've gotten these rebel space pilots who are incredible at their job, yada, yada, yada. But what I wanted to see is a good fight with real stakes, which is what Rogue One provided, and I wanted some more of that, and I absolutely got it. So if you haven't seen Andor, and you start it and you think it's slow, stick with it, because episode 6 makes it all worth it. It really does.
So I basically watched the whole 6 episodes in the past 2 days. I started yesterday, and I finished today. And I don't think that the other episodes are that slow. So I disagree with you there.
Wow.
But this episode, I don't enjoy as much as you did. I do have some flaws. Some of the action wasn't really appealing to me.
Wow.
Felt a little fake to me. I don't know. The visual effects were incredible. The eye was really cool.
I wanted to just say thank you, Bath Time with Vaughn, for tuning in. Make sure to just watch the stream at the end. And by the way, I did enjoy the show overall. I didn't hate it for sure. And you can check my thoughts when the stream is done as well. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Continue. The action, not your thing. The eye was cool.
And yeah, the whole show, all the episodes so far come down to that moment. Especially what you said about them going in 3, where they were planning it. So that was really cool to see them execute it. I don't really like the execution of it though.
Interesting.
I think they talked about it a lot. They're like, this is a death wish, like classic mission stuff. Like, no way we can make it out of this mission alive. Oh, but we are gonna do it. Like all that stuff. And then they seemed fairly easy when they did it.
Huh. I want to say 2 things. One, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Completely wrong. The episode is great. But I will actually say something of substance now, which is that I think you think it wasn't slow, because again, what I said, the show goes in arcs of 3, and so this is just a hypothesis. But I had to watch each episode weekly, and because each arc is split into 3 parts, the episodes naturally move slower. But I think because you binged it, like you said, you watched all 6 episodes in the past 2 days. I think that makes it a lot easier experience. So what I'm not going to do, because I have too much free time on my hands, I'm going to keep watching every episode. But for the average viewer, it might be wise, and yourself if you want to watch episodes in the three episode structure. So that way it doesn't feel as slow, and it feels like a more, because you get the intro, the middle, and the conclusion all at the same time. You don't have to wait a week to get the next one. So I think that would probably help. But look, I really thought it was. I have no complaints about the action. I love the revolution. I love the characters. Each character on this crew has such different motivations and feels so fleshed out. And I love where the episode ends. I really, really do. And I'm liking Andor as a character. And I knew I would like the show going in. I knew this is my kind of thing. And we have 6 episodes to go, so I'm really excited to see where they take it. I think it's probably reached its peak with this episode. I might have to eat my words later on. But it's very good. It's very good.
I think there will be an episode better, probably multiple episodes better.
Well, yeah, you were not the biggest fan of this one. But look, I really enjoyed it.
No, I think it was good.
No, I know.
I just don't think it was incredible.
I think this is some great Star Wars. Probably the best Star Wars we've had since The Last Jedi, dare I say. Dare I say. Which would mean The Mandalorian, bop. Obi-Wan Kenobi, definitely bop. Boba Fett, bop. Get out of here. Clone Wars Season 7 actually is pretty good too. But I really like this episode. And I'm excited that we have not only 6 more in this season, but we have a whole nother season coming, I believe, next year. So, that's my thoughts on Andor. Anything else to say?
No.
Okay, this is the part of the show where we would get into trailers. But we have none this week. No big trailers dropped this week at all, really. Unless you have any you want to talk about that you didn't add to our doc here.
No, I can't think of any trailers that I watched recently.
And this is the section that we didn't get to last time. So, hooray for us, because we did not get cut off by the Wi-Fi. We actually made it to the news section. And we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping this one both gives the audience a chance to learn some stuff that they might not have known and provoke some discussion between us. Are you ready? Ryan?
Yeah, me?
I'm asking you. I'm asking fans. You. No, I don't have time to wait for them.
All right.
We're moving fast
yes, I'm
here.
ready.
The first piece of news: A Haunting in Venice. You know anything about it?
A Haunting in Venice. I saw its name a few times. I don't remember anything about it.
It is the next Kenneth Branagh, Agatha Christie mystery film. You started with Murder on the Orient Express in 2017, which we saw together. And then you go Death on the Nile last year, and somehow, some way, they greenlit a third. So, any thoughts on that?
I didn't watch Death on the Nile.
Me neither.
We watched Murder on the Orient Express, but I was much younger when we watched that, so I don't remember too much about it. But I know you dislike these movies.
Well, again, I've only seen the first, but I didn't see Death on the Nile. But I was not the biggest fan.
You were very adamant against watching it.
Right. Because I didn't think I would enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't like Murder on the Orient Express. I thought the twist was very stupid, and in general, Death on the Nile seemed like it didn't get great reviews, and it just looks very standard. So, not particularly interested.
These are based on
Agatha Christie novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and she's like they're very
prominent author for sure. Yeah, but I don't know. Did you see How They Run a few weeks back?
No.
It was a 2021 release, or 2022. God, what year are we in? I have a review of it on my channel for those that are interested, including Ryan. But it's Agatha Christie-esque. It borrows from it. And I'm starting to think maybe just her mysteries are my thing. I really don't like the twists, usually. I guess this isn't fair because it's not an Agatha Christie novel, but it borrows heavily from one. And from a play.
So, what's like the difference between that, like a murder mystery like that, and a twist, than like a Knives Out?
Yeah. Well, when I saw Knives Out at first, I also was not the biggest fan because I didn't love the twist. And it's not specifically I didn't like the killer. I didn't like how the crime was done. And I think I just have a really high standard for these kinds of films because when I go into a murder mystery, I really like to be challenged. And I like just the clever nature of these films because they have so much potential to be brilliant. And I think I've since obviously come around on Knives Out. It's an absolutely brilliant film that subverts the genre as well. Just gives us a great mystery. And that's probably the film I might be most looking forward to for the rest of the year, to be honest with you. Wasabi in the chat says hot takes. Hot takes. Maybe we'll get into that after A Haunting in Venice. But yeah, look, I'll probably see Death on the Nile just because they are green lighting a third. I didn't realize this was going to be a franchise, so I'll give it a chance. Because I like murder mysteries, and yeah, I like Kenneth Branagh as a director. He's alright. So I don't know when this one comes out. I think it's next year, but I'll see it. It'll probably be the last of them unless it makes a ton of money. But yeah. Any interest?
I'll probably watch it.
Murder on the Orient Express I really did not like. I was not a fan of that one.
I don't remember it too well.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the twist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible. Let's give Wasabi a hot take. You got any hot takes you want to talk about quickly? I don't want to spend too long on it because we still got some news. Maybe we can dedicate an episode with less content to hot takes in the coming weeks.
All right, we can do that.
So let's just say your biggest hot take. You think your biggest film or TV?
My biggest film hot take. Probably. It'd either be. You should go first. Cause I know you have big ones.
I do have plenty of big ones, but
we agree on big ones.
I think we do. Well, this one you didn't agree with originally, but I think you've come around on a bit. This one is probably my biggest hot take. It's the one I tell most people, and it's that The Matrix is not a good film. I do not like The Matrix, and I will not elaborate here unless you beg, and then I probably will because I love to talk about it, and I could talk about it for a long time. But I do not like The Matrix, and I have plenty of other hot takes because I'm a hot take machine. Ryan?
I agree. I also dislike The Matrix.
I convinced him. I converted
Ethan,
him.
as usual, forced me into thinking a new belief.
That's how it goes.
And also, this one I feel like is not as much of a hot take. I think people have been coming around to this. The Avatar is not a good film, but a lot of people still love that movie.
It's facts. 2 people have asked me to elaborate on The Matrix. Should I? Or should I save it?
I don't know.
I'm leaving it up to you, my co-host. What's your take on the remaster? Oh, RDPC reviews, the third person to weigh in. I wonder who that could be. What is your take on the remaster of Avatar? I want to answer this one quickly. Wasabi. I actually went and saw it recently. Ryan did too. You did too, yeah? Yeah, so we both went and saw the chat is popping. We both went to see the remaster of Avatar. It didn't make me enjoy the film much more. It's not a great film. But the 3D was phenomenal. I mean, God, there's not a better film that looks there's never been a film that looks as good as Avatar does in 3D. Like you could tell it was made for the medium. So incredible remaster. I have to compliment it on that. Your thoughts on the Avatar remaster?
Well, I didn't like the film to begin with, and then going in, I watched it in IMAX 3D, and it was kind of an eyesore.
Really?
It being 3D. I don't mean eyesore. Like, the visuals are great, obviously, but I got a headache. I don't really like 3D, but that's not its fault. But also, that scripts, there's so many parts of Avatar that are just not strong, but the visuals are the good part.
1,000%. The visuals are. It's maybe the best visual effects ever put to film. It nails it completely. But the film isn't great. But the 3D, I thought I loved it. It got a little old, but at the beginning, I was just blown away. Let's talk about The Matrix because so many people are asking me to. I want to keep this under an hour, and we do still have some news to discuss. But The Matrix, no, I should wait. I really should wait. I'm gonna wait, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait. And we can talk about it. And actually, you know what? I have Elon Vinogradsky is absolutely spamming the chat right now. And so I'm thinking maybe we get some callers next time. How do you guys feel about that? Tell me in the chat if you want people to be able to call in to defend a film like The Matrix. We can bring them in to the live and get some other viewers. So stay tuned for week 3 because we will be looking into that. Anything else to say? No. Disney delays. Some more news. Let's talk about the Disney delays. Don't have much to say here, but a lot of the Marvel films were delayed. Any thoughts on that?
It's very, like, obviously, with all the stuff that's been... Well, first, I think it started with the jokes about the VFX workers at Marvel. You know, like, when Kevin Feige, blah, 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 and they're, like, crying, you know, those memes with the visual effects workers and all the workloads that they have.
Yeah.
And then it came out, like, actual testaments from them saying that they're, like, stressed out and, like, their work situations is very sad. And I think them being given more time is good. And the whole movie, more time, I think you shouldn't rush these films. I want these films to be great. I think all of Marvel needs it after Phase 4 being nowhere near as good as the first 3 phases. I think it would be, like, obviously I want more content, but I think it's just good that it's not rushed and that it would be done right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these films are always going to be delayed, and I really don't have a problem with it because they're already pumping out content as it is. So we can take our time here. For sure. I'm not worried. Let's talk about Ryan. The only thing you put on my doc this week, The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes got a release date. What do you want to say?
I wanted to talk about not just that it got a release date, but the whole idea of that film being made.
Right.
Yeah?
Sure.
So
what about
I know me and you, we both love the Planet of the Apes trilogy from Matt Reeves.
Trilogy.
Wait,
it's not all from Matt Reeves.
Yeah,
just 2.
Matt Reeves only directed
2.
But those films, we love them, and now this one is it's after, right?
I believe it's set after. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we should see what people say about this film, and we should speak our minds on this film. I think I talked to you about it, and I think you said something about you thinking it not being needed.
Yeah. Look, I'm conflicted on this one because one, I love the trilogy. I really think I think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is a near perfect film. I think War and Rise are very, very good. Very, very good. And yeah, Ryan's right. Let's get some thoughts about what you guys think of a new Planet of the Apes films in the chat. If you love those films as much as we do, if you're not the biggest fan. And so I don't want that ruined, obviously, because a trilogy is a perfect thing. Like, I look at the Toy Story films, which had a phenomenal trilogy. Toy Story 3 is near perfect, Toy Story 2 is near perfect, and the original is very good. And then 4 came along, and it's good, but it's not great. It doesn't live up to the other 3. And I don't include it. Like, I still call the Toy Story trilogy the Toy Story trilogy because those 3 films are just on another plane of quality. And so I'm hoping that this is not another case of the same thing, right? Because I don't want to just consider the trilogy as one thing. Or maybe I don't mind that much because that's what I do for Toy Story. But I feel like it's unnecessary. But Disney clearly has a lot of faith in it. Some people say the script is phenomenal. It's from Wes Ball. Is the director's name, and I don't know anything about him, and I'm just genuinely very curious to see. I know nothing about the film. I saw one photo that they released, one like concept art, and I'm just interested. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I'm a little nervous. I wish maybe that they wouldn't do it, but we'll see how it goes. You can see, by the way, when you change. Yeah, you can see the light on your face, just to let you know. You look green.
Oh, oops. Well,
Wes Ball.
He did the Maze Runner trilogy.
Right, okay. Now you're jogging my memory. See, that makes me even less confident, because I only saw the first, and it was very average. And to be fair, sorry, I have something in my throat. I think the book is just average. Perhaps controversial opinion. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm really just keen to see because I love the trilogy. I love the world that they've built. Originally, I actually thought, when I heard the news a while ago, I thought that they were just rebooting another Planet of the Apes. And I'm like, okay, it's a little soon, but okay. But it turns out they actually are building off of the trilogy. And so we'll see how it goes. Anything else to say?
No, but I do have to
We
say,
have so much news to cover, man.
Alina's upset. You calling out her.
I knew she would say that.
Maze
I'm
Runner.
aware she's a fan. I was waiting for her to say something. The chat is absolutely popping off. I'm really loving this. It's all people we know, but it's okay. Except for Wasabi. I don't know. Come back, please. Come back. I would love to hear from you. But, yeah, I'm liking what they're saying. Next one is Adam Sandler, the legendary actor who I clearly have a ton of affinity for. Everybody knows. Is teaming up with the Safdie brothers again, who directed Uncut Gems. And that is a film you love, and that is a film that I do not love at all. Well, I remember you really liked it back when we first saw it. Do you have any major thoughts? I'm trying to move through these quick, so just any quick...
Do you remember what their new film is called?
I don't. I don't even know that they gave a title. I said they're filming late. They're filming this winter, and that they're teaming up again. And I know they wanted to do this.
I'm glad Adam Sandler is getting more roles. I hope it's another serious role because I think he's great in those. Hustle, Uncut Gems.
Oh, he clearly has the chops. But okay, so apparently I do know Wasabi, but I can't see my text right now, so unfortunately I don't know your real identity. But I guess everyone in the chat is somebody we know, which is slightly sad. And of course Elon does know Adam Sandler personally. That's a hell of a story. Our take on Ender's Game. I want to cover that. That's a good question. That's an excellent question. I read the book a long time ago. I don't remember much about it. I watched the movie, and I also don't remember much about it. I remember the twist, which is actually still a pretty good twist. I don't fully remember anything else about the film, but the twist has definitely stuck with me. Other than that, it's okay. It's okay. I like it. I'm the man who you paid. What is this man talking about? I'm actually tripping. I don't know what he's talking about. Ryan, your thoughts on Ender's Game?
I did not read the book, and I did not watch the movie.
Oh, it's Daniel Hayner. Right. All right, well, I've uncovered the identity of the man who is asking excellent questions. So you don't know, and you have nothing to say about Ender's Game?
No.
Ready Player One, Angela Dubofsky says in the chat. Looking forward to 2. 2 has actually already come out, unless you mean the movie. If you're talking about the book, it's been out for a while, and I haven't read it because I've heard abysmal things. So not particularly interested. Alina says, have you seen Smile? I have not, and I have no intentions to because it looks very average, in my opinion.
I'm planning on it.
Oh, well, Ryan is planning on it, and he can let us know what he thought of it in week 3. Ryan, I don't know why I kept this. I thought about deleting it, but we can talk about it very briefly. Warner Brothers laid off a ton of their staff.
God.
Yeah.
I did some research on all the Warner Brothers stuff. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Horrendous decision making from the company, and now it's affecting other people who do not deserve to be affected by it.
Yeah. No, that studio it's actually kind of funny, but it's very sad how this long-standing icon of Hollywood is in shambles. Okay? Yeah. They tried to cut directors and writers workshops and got shut down. Shut the fuck down by the DGA, who said, you can't do that. We have a deal. And so they said, whoops, we were going to just try and ignore the deal, but now we have to keep firm on our promise. It's a mess. And they're laying off all these poor people just because they can't afford it. Look, I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff because clearly Warner Brothers got sold and the new guard is really trying to make some changes. But I really hope it gets better soon because I don't know if you recall, they only released Don't Worry, Darling and Black Adam for the rest of the year because they have no money to market any other films. What are we doing here, guys? What the hell is going on? We canceling Batgirl? Are we searching for pocket change on the ground as Warner Brothers? What the hell are we doing? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, Warner Brothers is in shambles. I really just wanted to talk about that one. Dahmer is being asked in the chat. Ryan, have you seen the Netflix show?
I have not seen the Netflix show, but I've heard a lot about it, and I'm probably going to watch it when I can.
I have not seen the Netflix show either. I have no interest, I gotta be honest with you, because it feels like Netflix just pumps out some show every few weeks that everybody talks about a ton and then nobody remembers ever again, and I frankly don't have the time for that. Wasabi in the chat says he's not going to watch Black Adam. We'll talk about that in a bit. Pinocchio. I had 2 things I wanted to say. One, it got a PG rating, which we found out earlier this week, and I really wanted to talk about that with you because I'm like, does this make us worry a little bit? Because we knew it was going to be darker. But then we actually got some reactions. I don't know if you saw any, but they were all over my feed because I've been very excited for this film. And naturally, it is being praised to high heaven. People love the film. So I guess, excuse me, PG does not matter. People are saying it's very adult, very adult. People, again, I like to reserve stuff because people always will praise things very high. But some people are saying Best Picture nomination, maybe in this film's future. But look, I'll speak first and then you can talk. We always knew this. It's Guillermo del Toro. I haven't seen all of the man's films. I haven't even seen Pan's Labyrinth. I'm very ashamed to say that. But I saw Shape of Water and I saw Nightmare Alley, his two most recent films, I believe. And both are absolutely brilliant films. They're some of the best films of their respective decades, even though the 2020s just started. So it is no surprise to me that the man knocked this out of the park. I'm very, very excited to see it. What about you?
I'm also excited to see it. I've been hyped. I love Guillermo del Toro and his work. Crimson Peak actually just had its anniversary today, I think.
Wow.
Which is his film. I've not seen that, but
Me neither.
it's not the greatest reviews for one of his films.
Crimson Peak is a Del Toro?
Yeah, I didn't even know it till recently. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I'm hyped for the film. I don't care that it has a PG rating, because I think Guillermo del Toro will still do his thing. As people have said, it's still adult, still has a dark tone on the story, and I'm excited to watch it.
Sure. Just some stuff from the chat here. My mother has apparently seen the Dahmer Show. Good for you, Mom. It sounds like something right up your alley, true crime stuff. She says she watched Blonde and liked it. That, I'm surprised she didn't tell me, because that is a hell of a hot take. Mom, we will have to talk about that after the show, but if you want to leave in the comments what you thought about Blonde, why you liked it, because it is a very controversial film. Thoughts on Ana de Armas? Ryan, that's from Alina Z, who, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
No? Pleading the fifth? Well, look, she is a good actress. We'll just say that. We'll say that. Thoughts on the Dune movie trilogy? Unbelievably excited to see the future of these films. I actually don't know that it's a confirmed trilogy yet. They have Dune Part 2, and then it has been widely speculated that they will do Dune Messiah afterwards. But regardless, I'm excited. Dune Part 2 actually got moved up a little bit, so it's releasing slightly earlier, I think just by a few weeks. Next year. So very excited to see that, especially because, and I mentioned this in my Dune Part 1 review, this is the real stuff. We're really getting into it now. Dune Part 1 had a ton of exposition, and here we're finally kicking it into high gear. Ryan, you're frozen a little bit. Okay, you're back. I don't know what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, continuing. Black Adam also got a ton of reactions. Better than I expected. People are saying it's fun. A lot of people hate the film. They say that the script is very weak, but I don't know what they expected, frankly. Thoughts? Are you excited for this film? Are you going to see it opening day?
I am opening day Thursday. I'm going to try to watch it. Because I am hyped. Although I know people who've said, "Oh, it looks bad." The trailer. I think the trailer looks fine. It looks all right. Good superhero movie. Should be good content. Fun to watch. Enjoyable film. And I'm excited.
I'm with you there. It looks very basic. It looks very, very basic. You're not getting a ton of nuance. You're not going to get Black Panther level dialogue or just themes in general in a Black Adam film. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see some action, some cool characters. I really like Pierce Brosnan. I really like Aldous Hodge from One Night in Miami. So Jacob Ribkin tells me that the Dune was greenlit for 3 movies, which is news to me, but I am very excited for. I only thought the third was speculated. So, but I like to see that. I like to see that a lot. I hope, actually, that we don't lose Denis Villeneuve to the Dune universe like we've lost James Cameron to the Avatar universe. So I do hope that after 3, they can switch directors. I'm fine keeping the universe alive, but just let Denis Villeneuve, because the man is an insane talent.
Incredible.
An insane talent.
Amazing.
Ana de Armas, a lot of love for her in the chat. And I wonder if they removed Kanye's music. Right, yeah. I don't know that we'll touch Kanye on this live. But, wow, he has been in the news recently. Let's talk about the Gangs of New York TV series. Did you even hear about this one?
No, I have not.
Let's go, because I wanted to tell you about it for the first time. Gangs of New York is getting a TV series with Martin Scorsese directing the first 2 episodes, Ryan. Come on. We won. We won. How did we not win?
Don't you dislike
Hey,
Gangs of New
zip
York?
it. It's a mid-film. But anything Scorsese, I'm excited for. And I really like the time period. So who am I to complain?
Yeah.
I really, really like
True.
the time period. The film is a little not my favorite. Sure.
What,
Sure.
depending
But,
on what parts about it aren't your favorite, they can 100% fix in the new film.
Absolutely. I agree. And look, you're not
Yeah.
getting the same cast, but I expect you're getting the same kind of stuff. The racial tension in an 1800s era New York is what I'm expecting to get. And I'm very excited to see that with a big budget, I assume, because I believe it's Apple TV. And they will, of course, give Scorsese whatever he wants, hopefully. So I'm excited to see it. I'm very, very excited to see it. I'm glad I got to tell you that for the first time.
I'm gonna be honest, I did see that,
What?
but right when I saw it, the notification, but I forgot about it.
You bro's just
And I-
lying to me now.
No, I didn't lie. I
Okay,
didn't lie.
buddy.
When you first said TV show Gangs of New York, and then you said, and then like you kept going on, then I remember that I saw
Right.
it.
Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks for lying. We've passed
I
an
didn't
hour,
lie.
by the way. Not only have we passed our last time without any Wi-Fi problems, but this is a remarkable achievement. I have to be honest. I'm very impressed with us and the chat for keeping it alive. Thank you guys for keeping it. This is the kind of stuff I wanted. I'm actually very excited that this is doing well because this is the dream I always had for this channel, to inspire conversation. And it never really happened, unfortunately. I got some videos here and there where, people were commenting their thoughts and whatnot, and we got some dialogues going. But it looks like this might finally be the place, even though Elon is treating it as his own personal blog over there. Thoughts on the B movie? That's kind of a joke question, so I'm going to treat it as such. I haven't seen it in a long time. That's my answer. So it might be funny. It might be actually really bad, and I don't know. Harrison Ford, you shared this with me because I was in the middle of Tar, and I came out of the movie, and I got this news, and wow, I was just stunned. Harrison Ford was cast as Thunderbolt Ross in, was it the Thunderbolts or was it New World Order?
I think it was New World
I
Order.
think so too. Look,
Yeah.
this was speculated. I thought it was absolutely all rumors. I thought there was no chance in hell that this was going to happen. But I guess they paid him enough. I guess they said, we'll give you whatever the hell you want. And he said yes. And I guess this tells me a few things. One, that the MCU is okay with recasting actors who have died. But they didn't recast Chadwick Boseman. They are recasting... what is his name? They are recasting William Hurt. They are recasting William Hurt. And it's probably just because he's a side character, and yet they want to keep the character of Thunderbolt Ross alive. But this sets a good precedent. And also, Harrison Ford is an absolute legend. Who could not like the guy? So the fact that we'll get some more of him is certainly worth celebrating. Any more thoughts on that?
I saw a few comments about it. People saying that they were surprised that they recasted someone who is 80 years old for the risk of him passing away. So, but then I saw someone saying about he'll just be like Red Hulk, and then all that needs a voice and whatnot. It should be fine.
I doubt they'll do that. I guess it's possible, but that'd be kind of crazy.
Doubt what?
I don't think that they're just gonna make Thunderbolt Ross Red Hulk permanently now. That's just
permanently.
always like a Professor Hulk thing. Yeah, I doubt that. My thoughts is that they're probably gonna kill Thunderbolt Ross. Or something like that, and so they only need Harrison Ford for a bit, and also because they don't want to pay him a ton. But I mean, I don't know what that person wanted. They have to cast somebody old because Thunderbolt Ross was already old. You can't cast like a 40-year-old and be like, this is the same guy. So that is interesting. Thoughts on the new Deadpool? Obviously, very excited. I really wish. I think we were going to talk about that last episode, but more Wolverine is a good thing. I saw a lot of people saying, don't. His story concluded in a very great way. Don't undo that. And I agree. Logan, it was a fantastic ending to him. But I do also share the opinion that this is a completely different example, an exception to that kind of thing. Because I doubt they're continuing Logan's story in that way. It is for a completely different purpose. And so in my mind, that makes it okay. It makes it okay because Deadpool gets a pass. He breaks the fourth wall and whatnot. And so I'm sure the writers will find a way. And if they don't, then I will criticize them for it. I'm excited. I am excited. Anything else about Harrison Ford? No, I already asked you that, yeah?
Okay. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
so
he
I hope
is.
to
He
see
really is.
an incredible role.
And I'm very excited for Indiana Jones 5. Absurdly excited next year for Indiana Jones 5, which I think will be great. Harrison Ford for President 2024, I'm for that. I'm for it. The guy will tell you, he's a very blunt man. He does not mess around. He does not waste time. And that is what America needs. So, put him in office, please. You know, actually, that's kind of funny because Thunderbolt Ross probably does have a good path to the presidency if he wanted it. Maybe not. The Sokovia Accords was kind of a failure, as we learned in She-Hulk. For those of you that are watching, I did want to say one last piece of news. And sorry to switch the tone up a little bit, but I did want to give a shout out to Robbie Coltrane, who I'm sure you all heard about. Ryan, you heard about this? He passed away. This is the actor for Hagrid. I mean, everyone in that franchise is impeccable. You know, we were obviously sad when Alan Rickman, as Severus Snape, passed away as well. But we're very sad. I'm very sad to see the man go. He was such, and I saw this clip floating around after he was gone saying that he won't be here come 40, 50 years, but Hagrid will always be there. And Hagrid was a character that had a major impact on me watching those films just because he's so warm and comfortable and cozy and such a great character to attach to. And he's also Zukovsky in the Pierce Brosnan Bond films. I don't know if you remember that, Ryan, when we watched those. But, the man was a talented actor, and he will always be known for, of course, Hagrid and just the lives that he brightened in his many roles. So rest in peace, Robbie Coltrane. Anything you want to add?
Hagrid was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. So rest in peace to the man. Thoughts are with his family, and I was thinking about watching Sorcerer's Stone again just to give the man the respect he deserves. He was actually nominated. I learned that I think the BAFTAs, which makes sense, the British people, nominated him for Best Supporting Actor for Sorcerer's Stone, which I thought about, and I'm like, maybe that's not undeserved. It was an incredible performance. Performance. He really embodies this character. I'm wondering if they never nominated Rickman as Snape or anything like that. No, he was the only one for the franchise, I think I remember. He was the only performance nominated for the entire franchise. It was deserved. Deserved nomination. That is the end of our news section. Thank God. Ryan, we got through it without any Wi-Fi problems. Makes me very happy. But we have one more section to cover up, and it is unfortunately us wrapping it up. So for those of you having a great time in the chat, you'll have to keep the party going elsewhere. I want to talk about what we have going forward, Ryan. What do we have going forward? We have 6 films that I wrote down. First of all, it's Black Adam, which we already covered a little bit. Next week, I'm going to try and see that as soon as possible. I think you are as well. I'm expecting it to be fun, expecting to have a good time. I'm thinking maybe 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is what I'm going and expecting to have some fun opening night with a crowd, hopefully. I'm trying to watch this one with a crowd just because I think I'll be able to have fun, laugh at all the brutal and violent choreography that we get because they're going to be throwing people through buildings and whatnot, for God's sake. Thoughts on Black Adam? You looking forward to it? We talked about it a little bit. But yeah. Oh, yes. Just yes. Okay. Next up is Triangle of Sadness. This film, of course, won the Palm... Did it? Or am I mixing my ceremonies?
It did.
It did? What won the Golden Lion? Okay. Well, you're convinced. So, Triangle of Sadness won the Palme d'Or. I thought for a minute I was mixing up my ceremonies. So I'm very excited for this film. It's a comedy, a satire. I like the trailer. I actually don't know that this one is premiering in theaters near me next week. It might be even longer, but I did just want to mention it. Ryan, are you excited for that one?
I am very excited.
The lighting on your face is very dark. Oh, okay. You're looking it up.
Yeah.
Did you look up what won the Golden Lion?
The Golden Lion?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. All the beauty and something
yes,
like that.
Yes, all the beauty and the sadness. Okay. Okay. Elk is asking, how do we call him for next time? That is an excellent question that I haven't answered to. I just unfortunately will not give it to you right now because I don't want to. So you'll have to wait till next week when I actually find a way to do that because I really have no idea. But we will work it out. That I promise you. Week 3 people will be able to call in and express their distaste with our opinions. Ryan, let's talk The Banshees of Inisherin, which unfortunately, actually, I have to say, is also not playing in any theaters near me next week. But this is a film I am very much looking forward to. Heard excellent things. Love Martin McDonagh. Love Colin Farrell. Love Brendan Gleeson. You excited?
I'm very excited. I watched almost all of Martin McDonagh's films in preparation for this, and I love his work.
Is that true? What Martin McDonagh films have you seen?
I've seen 3 Billboards Outside of Missouri, In Bruges, and a short film of his called The Six Shooter.
Bro said almost all. Does he?
Yeah, he only has one more besides that. Called
Are you serious?
Seven Psychopaths. Yeah.
How did I not know that? Okay, wow. I do plan to watch In Bruges before I watch that film. Because he has a very distinct... Okay, buddy. He's a very distinct comedic tone, which I am excited to see in
he is a
Banshees.
Dark comedy.
Yeah. I'm getting some suggestions for how to get people to call in next time. I was thinking Discord, because I've seen some streamers that I've seen before bring in guests, I think use Discord. But I can't just call, because the audio... I use my phone to record, and I guess they would have to call Ryan, but I don't know how I would hear that. We'll figure it out. I promise that. Can't FaceTime, can't Instagram Live. I'm thinking Discord right now, but I will look up some stuff about what other live streamers use in general. Zoom could work. I don't think we'll do video. Because it adds a whole nother layer from the streaming side of things. But if we can just get the audio, that'd be great. Argentina 1985 also drops next week. I actually don't know if it drops next week. It's really hard to find details on this stuff, but I think it comes out on Amazon Prime next week. I hope, for God's sake, because I'm very excited for this film. It got great reviews. It's a legal drama about these 2 Argentinian lawyers trying to bring down a Argentinian dictator. Very excited to see it, Ryan. You excited to see it too? Yeah, it's a legal drama. I'm excited to see it. Aftersun. Have you heard anything about this film?
Yeah, A24, right?
Yeah, I think so. I've heard phenomenal things about this film. I don't necessarily think it'll be my cup of tea, just about what I've heard, but I've heard it is a very emotional watch, and I will, of course, be checking it out, because I've heard enough good. Any thoughts on Aftersun besides that?
I'll watch it. I love A24.
Of course you do.
Don't know much about it.
The A24 expert is my co-host. And then the final film, going forward, Ticket to Paradise, which would not be on this list, except I have 2 grandparents who very much want to see this film, so I will be joining them. Let's hear it.
You're forgetting a film, Wendell and Wild.
That is not next week. I would appreciate if you do not question my judgment. That is October 28th. So maybe do not be disrespectful again, or I'm going to find a new co-host. I'm going to ask Daniel Hayner to be my co-host if you keep talking like that, buddy.
Actually, release date, October 21st.
I don't care what Google says, Ryan.
I just looked it up.
I don't care what Google says, because Google's wrong. Look it up. Do some more research. It's October 28th. You're welcome.
I've done research. That's why I think it's October.
Well, you're wrong, buddy, because I've done more. So, sorry about that.
Okay.
Ticket to Paradise is next week. It's George Clooney. It's Julia Roberts. It's a rom-com. I actually looked this one up, and it told me it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I said I will not be seeing that, but then I did some more research, and it is an hour and 40. It looks like, mild fun. We'll see how it goes. Ryan, I think you're frozen, unless you're pulling a Drax again. Come on, are you? Hello?
I'm researching.
You're still researching, buddy? You don't trust me? This is going to be so funny.
Everything I see.
Okay, no, I'm actually sick of this. I can't change my computer.
I'm
watching the stream.
On Ron. Ethan.
I don't care where Ron. Go into Wikipedia.
Look, Ethan, you messed up. It releases on Netflix 28th, in theaters 21st.
Who cares about theaters? Are you going to see Wendell and Wild in theaters? Right, it's probably a limited release. Does it release near you on October 21st?
You want me to check?
I do want you to check. Stop telling me you've done research. You're actually being ridiculous. Bro was questioning me. You believe this?
Yeah, and I was correct. It comes out 21st.
Show me that it comes out near you October 21st. My bet comes out New York, comes out Los Angeles. The limited release strategy, and it comes out to the world on October 28th. Don't be ridiculous. Stop playing Google Snake, according to Jacob Ripkin. Are you looking it up or no? What's going on?
I'm looking it up.
I'd love to see it. Tell me when I'm right. I'd love to hear it. This is a hell of a way to end the show on. I'm loving this. Come on, though. We can't have dead air here. Talk to me. Talk to me.
All right. So look.
Oh.
It's a little hard.
Oh.
To...
Oh. Wait. No. Yeah. Keep going.
It's a little hard to.
To say I'm sorry. To say I'm wrong.
No.
What's hard? To admit that you were wrong? Is that difficult? You're looking at it, so just tell the audience. Yeah, just get the words out. You got it in
it's
there.
not near me.
Oh!
People watching this, it could be
Ryan Dubofsky.
They want to know.
I've done so much research. It comes out October 21st.
It does.
You're not watching it on October. Stop lying.
I'm not, but other people can.
Ryan, why are we talking about it if it doesn't come out October? Are we going to talk about it next week?
No.
No, because we wouldn't have seen it. That's what the show is about.
What if I fly to New York and watch it?
You do that. The audience knows you were wrong. You should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed.
I was not wrong.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Wow,
we've been going for an hour and 16 minutes. Ryan, I'm actually very impressed with this episode. I'm very happy with everything we've covered today. And I'm very excited for the future for week 3. I have a lot of plans to add different things. And I'm hoping we can just make an episode even better. Ryan, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
No.
Nothing to say? Okay. Well, thank you, Ryan.
Was right.
Oh, right. Okay.
You were wrong.
I think, can I just
we
how do I kick you out of the...
Right.
Okay. We were definitely not both right. I was definitely right. EDPC, go subscribe. To RDPC, to EDPC Productions, to EDPC Reviews. The real MVP of this live is not Ryan, certainly, because he's the liar. It's not me, certainly.
Daniel Hanner.
It is not me. It is Daniel Hanner, but it is also everyone else in the chat, because you guys, last episode we had like 10 comments in the chat, and this episode we have like 50. Because you guys came in, you were entertained, you talked with each other, so I am very, very appreciative, and I'm hoping we get some similar engagement in future weeks. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I have been EDPC Reviews. He has been
Ryan Dubofsky.
RDPC Reviews. We will see you in